Do fathers get enough credit when it comes to the vision of their children? Many times that responsibility falls on moms. We just assume that, moms are the caretakers and nurturers, so they would have the plan. They would have their dreams and their goals already set. But do we give fathers credit? Do we think that they have a vision for their children? That's a question that I had. So I thought that why not ask some of my dad friends and some fathers that I really love, admire, and respect, and get their perspective on their vision for their children. Check it out.
I think the most important thing to me was that we raised children who love the Lord and who were good citizens of the world. We didn't want to raise rotten kids. We didn't want kids that weren't kind to people or loving. We wanted respectful kids and all of that. And I think so far it's turned out pretty well.
I knew I was going to be a father is just like how an artist would think of the final product of their work. Like an artist, a painter is presented with a canvas. It is your job to make it to whichever product that they want. So in the back of my mind, I know what I want my children to be. But unlike a painter or an artist who controls the brush, with children, you do not necessarily control the master stroke.
Once I knew I was going to have children, I knew that I had to give my kids everything that I had plus some. That was my responsibility, to make their life so awesome that they can look back at it and go, my dad really did all that he can to just make me as happy as possible.
But I did pray that they would be, each one would be physically strong, mentally strong, spiritually strong, and musically strong. Go figure. And as we began to parent each one, I knew that I wanted them to fully embrace themselves, and I wanted to do that as well.
When I knew I was going to be a dad, my vision for my daughter was to be able to love her unconditionally, to be a stand-up guy for her, nurturing her, protecting her, providing well for her, and leading her to Jesus. Also, my desire was to not only be physically present, but also emotionally present.
My vision as a father for each one of my children is to make sure they don't grow up with any daddy issues. Life does a number on us already, and the things and the people in life that we come across can hold us back, box us in, or even pushes us to extremisms. I didn't want the lack of being physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually present be the reason why my children feel disconnected in different areas of their lives.
I don't think that COVID has really affected my perspective of what I see for my girls. If anything, the time that we have now spending together, even though I have to work and they had to do school, we have time together to talk, time together to be able to do things fun together. And I've been amazed to kind of watch what's been developing and what has developed in their character over time.
Nothing much has changed much for me. When you consider essential worker, I think that's the benefit, because I still had finances coming in, still able to provide for them, and that's tough for people right now.
It's almost been a renewal of how life used to be. When our kids were young, my wife actually stayed home and homeschooled them for the first 3 years of schooling. So it kind of reminded me of when we were a young family, except now I was home as well, because I was always out working. But Now being able to be at home, it's been a blessing. It's helped us to build closer relationships. Not to say that we haven't also gotten on each other's nerves.
I get to play basketball with them quite a bit more. They're measuring themselves up at this point against me. They're really trying to see where they are in life, like as a whole, basing that on how close they come to beating me in basketball. And that's not a bad lesson. That's not a bad thing when you think about it.
You know, making sure it was quality time and that it just had to be more intentional overall, because we were in the house all together, and you know, sometimes a day can just pass by and you not accomplish many of the things that you wish you had. So just need to, you know, take stock of the time and properly manage it.
I see opportunities for us to spend more time, communicate with one another, and actually see examples of how to be respectful, not only to me, the father, but also other members of the family.
For me, I want them to grow to live their best life, grow to become the best in whatever they decide to do. And that is in itself, watching it manifest is a beautiful thing.
The connection I have with my children, whether it's the serious conversations or being in touch with what they like, even to the point of being the butt of the joke, just to hear the laughter brings me so much fulfillment as a father.
And I know that I make a lot of mistakes as a father, but to see them love you back, to see them love you, is something that is greater than any accomplishment you could have in your life, whether it be outside of the home or inside the home. The love of your children, the love of your wife, the love of your children is precious and priceless.
It's priceless to know that when your child looks at you, they think everything's going to be all right just because you're there. And I love that.
While their journeys may not look exactly the way I envision them, I want to affirm them. Affirm their personhood and capacity to choose their own destiny, and to allow God to be God.
To watch the things that you're trying to put into your kids actually come out, it's a very fulfilling thing.
I feel that I'm doing the best job that I can as a dad, because there's no blueprint to this. There's no right or wrong. It's what you make it at the end of the day.
These are their visions, and it's a reminder of just how important it is to have the role of a father present, whether they're in the household or not, because they also have visions for the livelihood of their children. So dads, continue to be great, continue to be present. We love you and we need you. Happy Father's Day.